Alright fellas, we're back at Pokemon Masters, and we're taking a look at 6-star EX Archie at 3 out of 5, and of course with Kyogre, right? I did not unlock his EX roll, I don't intend on unlocking his EX roll. It is literally just there for people who like Archie. It is not a viable upgrade, not in my opinion. I mean, it does make Archie better, but Archie, it does not propel Archie up to any significant extra levels compared to where he would be naturally, at least in my opinion. But still, we're going to be looking at him here at 3 out of 5 for anyone who's maybe interested in it, and I've never made Archie showcase, I don't think, so why not, right? And I do want to say that these are all on-type battles against Malva, so if you are not a big proponent of on-typing, you are not interested in that, then this video is not for you. Mostly for the fact that I'm not exactly willing to try and undergo torture to try and squeak out some off-type battles in Kalos Stadium right now. I'm good. I have other things I need to do for now, so I just wanted to put this out there. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Archie, I mean, he's not really... He's aged fine comparatively to probably most units in his era, outside of, like, Fair Tiles and expansions and whatnot. He's aged out pretty. He's aged pretty fine, I guess, but it's also mostly because he's a water type, so water types getting buffs. That's just kind of how that goes. He's still got Origin Pulse, 207 base power, AoE move. Special attack could be a little bit higher, but of course that is helped out with the EX roll and level 150, so it does help out in that department. He does lack some Sync Nuke multipliers, literally just having Shower Power 3 and like Critical Strike 2 / Weather Warrior 3, right? And that's it. Not a great nuke, but I mean, the big thing is that you're able to set rain off of that sync move here with shower sync, which is nice, so that's always something. But whatever, yeah, let's go ahead, up into the battles, take a look at Archie, I guess in the modern day against 3,000 point stadium in a few different scenarios. So yeah, sure, let's go ahead and hop into those. This first battle can probably be called like Archie PP. Archie maxing, something like that, right? So we got Signature Chris and we got New Champion Serena, some of his best partners, right? Of course, you know, there is some room for improvement, maybe with like Dahlia and whatnot, right? But I'd say Signature Chris with her ability to do special moves up next, and then Serena's ability to apply rebuff and debuffs is also, both of those are going to be very, very useful for Archie. Though I don't know if they even have debuffs enabled on this, so I don't even know if Serena's Water Shuriken's going to do anything there. But I guess we'll find out. I don't really remember. Yeah, it does do debuffs. Okay, I wasn't that stupid. I'm pretty stupid, but I'm not that stupid. So yeah, alright, so whatever, this is fine. We boost up Archie's Origin Pulses here to try and KO these sides as fast as possible, mostly focusing on single target damage with Serena, able to get in the sync with Chris for the support EX, and then we can get our special moves next back from Chris's Sync Burst from her trainer move, so that's going to be useful. We get ourselves that look at Archie there. One of the best things about Archie is that he does get super effective next when attacking in rain, so he can get some super effective water or electric damage depending on what you're doing, and that can be helpful for some harder content because, I mean, especially in like Ultimate Battles, super effective next is now very helpful, whereas it mostly is utilized in Stadium as a tool of let's just be as overpowered as possible. Especially when you're talking about like top tier characters, right? But in Ultimate Battles and whatnot, that can be helpful. I don't know how Archie would actually handle Annabelle's Ultimate Battle. It really does suck that Archie got the pretty short end of the stick there, because Annabelle is probably still the hardest Ultimate Battle in the game. So the fact that obviously he has to deal with facing the hardest Ultimate Battle, despite having the gimmicks that can kind of go against it, being, you know, rain and whatnot, right? It still is potentially not really enough just because of everything Annabelle does, how bulky she is. That's probably Archie's biggest issue, right? If Annabelle was a little bit weaker, then he could realistically be viable in probably that Ultimate Battle. But I mean, either way, he looked good here with the rebuff, the defensive debuffs, and the special moves next. Like 15k Origin Pulse at the end. Yeah, that's pretty good, for sure. And here we are for a classic team. I don't have Signisuit Blue, otherwise I would have played Sycamore with him, but this was basically like the go-to water team back in the day. Signisuit Blue, Archie, and May, back during the 2nd anniversary. That was a pretty damn strong water team. Probably the best there was, and it was really funny just to see. It was like one of the biggest off-type teams back then, but either way, I've replaced Blue with Sycamore because, I mean, he's still a pretty old unit. He's still able to function with his team with the speed buffs, the crit buffs for May, and whatever else, right? So it's fine. It works out. Anyway, I was going to try and maybe do something with Archie's Thunder, but there's no electric weak stages to try and use that with. And really, Thunder DPS, in my opinion, is only really too viable if you have, like, great partners like Ash or maybe Secret Suit Pierce, Neo Champion Blue, all those characters. Because otherwise, just off-typing with Origin Pulse is infinitely better. I mean, you've got better partners with the water, and obviously, again, Electric can still be good, right? Not gonna try and deny that, but I still think that Thunder DPS is probably a lot more on-type oriented, or wanting to be on-type oriented, than it is trying to go for off-type. Would have probably been better to go for the Muddy Water with May there, but no gauge, sadly. So whatever, this is fine though. We got the support X in with Sycamore. We're about to KO these sides with the Origin Pulse, and we're gonna see some really good damage here, even without any like special moves next or anything like that. Obviously, I mean, the Origin Pulse does not have super effective next now, but what does RG put out here? Max special attack, +2 sync buffs, Origin Pulse and Rain, no super effective next. 12,000 damage, that's still pretty good. I mean, it's still pretty good. It's definitely going to be clearing any on-type stage you need. And again, Thunder will still clear any electric-type stage you have, and but I was just not really willing to wait to find an electric stage to put out this video, because Archie's banner debuted today, or dropped today. Not debuted, definitely not. This is like his third rerun. But whatever, I mean, I still wanted to showcase him today. Sadly, no electric type DPS showcase, though I don't really use Archie's electric type damage that much anymore anyway. After I got Thunderbolt Red, I mean, I just don't need to. Well, actually less so Thunderbolt Red and more so Classic Elisa. I just don't really need to run Archie for electric stages, just no point. Also, Elisa, come on. Why would I use Archie over Elisa? Come on. No hate to Archie, of course. To finish off here, we've got ourselves Hoenn ramping. Last team was more like free-to-play friendly / I guess old team versus new weakness, new stage, new points, whatever. This team is just centered around Hoenn ramping. That's pretty much it. This team is not viable. I mean, none of these teams have exactly been like the pinnacle of meta. I mean, I'd say the Chris and Serena one was probably the closest we got, but that was kind of the point. This one is just trying to ramp up Archie as much as possible via Hoenn methods. No special moves next, which I guess Wallace does apply with the Hoenn analysis, right? So that's not really something to worry about. But also Hoenn Circle, Master Passive. That's the two things we're trying to focus on boosting with Archie here. And I mean, you can get some pretty good damage out of it, I would say. It's definitely not better than like Sigma Suit Chris or Neo Champion Serena, or even really partnering him up with any other water type characters like Dahlia, or even other strikers like Sigma Suit Lysander you've seen. Those characters are just pretty much entirely better to pair him up with than trying to max him out via region-based skills. Maxing via regions rarely ever actually something you're going to try and deliberately do. It's just more so something that comes together by chance, or by the fact that they directly want characters to synergize, like the electric team with blue, ash, and red, right? Like, obviously that stuff synergizes, and chase too, right? All that stuff synergizes extremely well together, but that's also because they were deliberately trying to make Kanto stronger. Stuff like this here with Steven, Archie, and Wallace, Hoenn synergy just does not really exist. It never even existed back when these characters were released, because you had Archie, who was the first Master Fair, or between him and Maxie, right? And they both were physical and special split. Archie functioned very well with May, so in that aspect it worked out fine, but there was still no good real Hoenn support. Signature Brendan was out, you had like Roxanne and fucking Phoebe as Hoenn supports. It was not fantastic, right? And even now, Wallace with his Hoenn circle, he's fire type. I mean, come on, let's be honest here, it's not going to work. And also, Wallace wanted to set Hoenn Circle anyways, not really that fantastic. And having Cygnus Steven act as a support and not really doing damage is also not bad, but I mean, deliberately kind of hindering and not really the most optimal type of setup. So Hoenn just doesn't really work well together. And also, Anniversary Steven. Steven just deliberately destroys Maxie and Archie, despite him being despite Maxie being, or Steven being physical. He even screws over Maxie because he wants to clear weather. So even then, the three Hoenn Master Fairs from back in the day don't even synergize with each other. So they just wanted to show that Hoenn synergy pretty much does not exist. It's really hard to actually get some synergizing teams. Like, even Unova, I mean, the Unova synergy is definitely a lot better, but it's still not even optimal. Like, you've got Rosa and Nate, which is fine, but then your third character is unlikely to even be Unova. Like, you maybe want to do, like, Battle Tower Leon or someone else. You can run a Unova character like Signature Hilda or maybe Emmett or whoever, but realistically, your best option is not really Unova. So, I mean, that's probably one of the things here with Archie, is that you don't really want to try that Hoenn triple setup, but whatever, that's not really the point. Archie, I mean, he's still aged fine. he's still got solid water damage. He's got solid electric damage. He's just not really near the top where he used to be. But that comes with the area of aging. That's just kind of how that goes. But hey, as I've shown, he still can be good in situations if you really want to go for him and use him and whatever else. He's still got good abilities like rain extension and whatnot. That's always going to be helpful no matter what you do. So I mean, in that aspect, he's still got uses. He's still got niches, but realistically, you're going to be using other options like Dahlia, Lysander, maybe even Hoenn, New Champion Serena. Sadly, mostly outclassed. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Archie. I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Archie down in the comments below, and bye.